Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. In today's episode, I have some brand new farmhouse Christmas DIYs for you that are low cost but high end. They all focus around at least one item from Dollar Tree and they turn out so beautifully. If you like crafting, DIYs, dupes, hacks, thrift flips, or just creating in general, I would love if you would consider subscribing and becoming my crafting BFF. If you do like any of today's projects, remember to hit that thumbs up, but let's get right into the DIYs. I'm just taking this cute little chalkboard sign from Dollar Tree. It's got that darling little buffalo check fabric on the back, and then the front portion is just a chalkboard. And then I also have this little truck ornament that came from Dollar Tree. They've had these the last couple of years, so hopefully you can find some. But I just used some wire cutters to cut off the portion that says Merry Christmas. I'll probably just save that for another DIY. I just want the truck for this. Now I'm just taking my putty knife and I am gently going underneath this chalkboard portion here. I'm doing this very slowly. It is sped up a little bit because I just want to make sure that it doesn't break or rip or anything like that. I will be placing it back on, so the fact that you can see that little glue strip on there does not make a difference at all. Now I take 2 of these evergreen picks from Dollar Tree. They come in like a pack of 12. I've seen them at Dollar General. I believe I've seen them at Walmart. So hopefully you can find some at one of these stores or have some in your stash, or you can even just like dismantle like a garland or something like that to have some. So I just wrap 2 together and make an oval shape, and I just keep matching it up to the size of my chalkboard so you can see enough of it around the edges. And then I did take my scissors and kind of give it a little trim around the edges so that way it wasn't, I don't know, I think it just makes it look a little bit better if you trim a little bit of it off so it doesn't look so shaggy. So I did that. Now I have, these are from Walmart, and I think it's called like a winter cedar berry or juniper berry or something like that. I found it in their floral section, but it has these little teeny tiny red berries on it, and I think they're so cute. And I just kind of picked a little bit of the ends off of each of one of them, and then I'm just gluing it around kind of in an oval motion so that way they all kind of face the same direction. I thought that looked really cute with that evergreen pick. It kind of helps lift it up off of there. And then I'm just putting some hot glue around the ring on the back of this, and you'll see here I just carefully place that on. Now you can kind of see, if you can, I don't know, but I glue it on upside down when I go to put my chalkboard on because the holes that hang my sign up are facing the bottom right now where they really need to be facing the top. Anyhow, you'll see me fix that in a minute here. But I just go around anywhere that my little cedar berries are sticking up or I want them to stick down more, then I just use my hot glue to help hold those down. Now I take 4 tumbling tower blocks and glue 2 together and then the 2 on top of each other, if that looks okay there, and then I glue that down on top. This is going to help give that 3-dimensional look. It helps pop out that chalkboard sign. So now I just match up where I want that truck, and I just use some hot glue around the edges there, and then I just eyeball it. Well, you can see I'm going to drop it first and then I eyeball it and get it all where I want. Now you can use any one of these for a hanger. You can see I'm just this came from Hobby Lobby, but maybe it came from Walmart. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look down in my description box and I'll let you know because I can't recall right now where I picked this up from. But I do love the green and the red on there. It did come from Walmart. It's just coming to me now that I remember actually picking it up there. So Walmart is where I got this. Now, you can find the pitberry at the Dollar Tree too and use that totally fine. Just putting back the twine hanger on here will be fine also. Now you can see that I realize now like, oh, whoops, I put this on backwards. So I just stick my putty knife up underneath that tumbling tower block and where the glue was. The glue had dried pretty good at this point, but I was able to get it off. And I'll just stick some glue on it and flip it around. So, you know, no harm, no foul. It looks totally fine. Now after I get this centered and put down in the correct place that I want it, I will just thread this little pitberry garland through one side and then just twist it around, so that's what's going to help it stay. Now if you do plan on hanging this somewhere that it's going to get a lot of wind or anything, this wire will stretch and get longer and longer, so you may want to use some twine in that case, but I just thought this was really cute. It's just going to hang maybe on my pantry door or just like layered on another wreath or something, but I think for a cute little design, this turned out so cute. What do you guys think of this one? Do you like it? I've been seeing these windows a lot more at Dollar Tree. I keep hoping that they bring more and more different styles of them out because they're so fun to do DIYs with. This one is just kind of like a chipboard type material. In the springtime, I've seen like the plastic, almost like a frame type material, and they've had like the little words in the center of them. This is nice because it doesn't have any words in the middle. I don't have any glue I have to remove or anything. It just has that little sign at the bottom, which I am going to cover up. These tree ornaments all came from Hobby Lobby. The 2 white ones came in a pack of like 4 for just a couple of dollars, and the other one came from just the ornament section. But Dollar Tree does have the wooden cutout ones that you could easily use for this if you could find them. I just haven't been able to find any of those yet this year. Now, I have this wreath that came off of a garland that I had bought so I could cut all the little wreaths off of it. And but you could easily use, I showed you those little evergreen picks from Dollar Tree. You could use those to use for the wreath instead. Now, I'm just gluing those trees down. If you wanted to paint these a green color, or you wanted to put some scrapbook paper or something on them to give it a little bit more visual interest, go ahead and do that. Do what you have, what works for you. I just wanted this to kind of have more of a neutral color. I really love how this turns out, but I just glue those 2 on the side there so they're kind of covering that sign up there on the bottom. And then I'm just going to glue this in the middle. So I'm just kind of eyeballing where I want it to sit, and I do want this window to stand, so when I glue it on, I will kind of stand it up to make sure that all of the trees are flat and it's not going to be like front heavy and flip it over. And you can kind of see me doing that here. And then the one ornament does have the hole in the top, and I will cover that up with a cute little bow. Now, I'm just showing you here, if you wanted to glue some tumbling tower blocks onto the back to help that stand up, that would be an option for you, but I end up doing something else, but just showing you how that looks if you want to do that. Now, look how cute that little wreath looks on this cute little window there. I got some buffalo check ribbon. I stuck with that neutral kind of farmhouse palette, and I just tied that in a little shoestring bow and put that right over the top of that. And I thought it would be fun to tie the wreath in with another bow as well. I do have a commenter every once in a while that asks me if I have to attach a bow to everything. Yes, I do. It's me. Do what works for you. If some berries would be really cute glued around that wreath, leave it plain, do a twine bow, whatever is your style, go ahead and do that. So I'm just gluing that wreath on there because I thought that looked really, really cute. And then I have this little riser that I made in one of my tiered tray videos. It's just a coaster with some little beads on the bottom of it for some little feet. And I'm going to affix this to the back of this because I want to use it to have a candle. Now, you could easily use one of these signs that like from Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby. If you don't want to make a riser, go ahead and paint it up and glue it onto the back, and it's going to work just fine. You could even just put a candle behind it, and I'm just showing you here the coaster. These came from Hobby Lobby, and I just put some plaster over the front of it to paint it. If you would like to do a candle just behind it, but I wanted the candle raised a little bit. But I set that coaster down, and I put one of my favorite candles from Amazon, which I'll link below. These are just battery operated candles, and I just thought this was a darling little window with that little light shining behind it. This is going to be so elegant and beautiful, and not only is it great for Christmas, but it's going to be perfect for all winter long. Are you guys on Instagram? If you are, I would love if you would come and find me. I am Farm Charm Chic over there. I'll leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. But come and see what I'm working on. I post there quite a bit. I like to show you things that I'm working on or when I have videos ready. It's just another place to stay in touch. So if you do come find me, remember to send me a DM and say hi, because I do love meeting new friends. I'm so excited to show you this DIY. It's almost like 4 DIYs in one, but I love how this turns out. So this cute little sign I found just recently, like this last week at Dollar Tree. It's a cute little laundry sign, and I loved that it had the little pegs on it. And I knew immediately what I wanted to do with it when I saw it. So I just sprayed some water on it, and I'm just using my putty knife to scrape off that glue. It may take you a few minutes to get all of that scraped off, but it worked better to scrape it than to sand it, in my opinion. Once that dries, I just take a little bit of white chalk paint on a chip brush, and I'm just dry brushing this on. I just really wanted a nice faded look to it. So you can paint it a different color if you want, or whatever you want to do with it, but that's the style that I was going for. Now I'm taking a sleigh from Dollar Tree. I'm actually going to do 3 different sleighs here in this DIY. This first one, I'm going to paint the base of the sleigh here, the part that you would write on, white, and then I'm going to paint the bottom part of the sleigh here just in black, just doing a traditional farmhouse palette. And each of the sleighs that I'm doing are each a different type of sleigh also. So if you can find a variation, do that, or whatever works, or whatever you've got on hand. Now I'm taking some foam core board, and I want a wreath to go on one of my sleighs. And so I didn't have a wreath small enough because these sleighs are kind of teeny. So I just thought I would make my own. The greenery here is just off of the boxwood picks that you pick up at Walmart. I love those boxwood picks. You can use them all year, and I feel like you can get so many projects out of them. So definitely when you're at Walmart, look at their florals and pick a couple of those up. You will not regret it. So now I just cut off the littlest, teeniest size of the leaves that I could, and I just glue them all the way around and fill in all the gaps and everything so you cannot see that. And you could use cardboard if you don't have foam core board, and something like that. And now I'm just taking some little teeny tiny red berries. This is also off of a pick that I got at Walmart, and I just glued those all the way around, just kind of to bring in a little pop of color into that. So now moving on to our second sleigh, I am going to stain with just my Waverly antiquing wax the portion of the sleigh that you would sit on here, like the base of that, and then on the bottom, and the name escapes me of what these would be called, like the blades of the sleigh maybe. I'm painting those black, and then I will stipple on some metallic here, silver, because I wanted this to look like maybe it was aged metal, was kind of what I was going for. And so I just went all the way around to do that. This cute little deer ornament came from Dollar Tree. It came like 2 to a pack. So I just took this and put a decent amount of hot glue and just held that down till it was completely dry. I wanted this sleigh to look like it had a little bit of snow on it. So I'm just putting some white chalk paint on a chip brush, and I'm just dabbing that up and down. And after I did this, and I'm just doing it kind of as if the sleigh was propped up against something where the snow would naturally fall. And I decided that the white paint wasn't cutting it, so I take a little Mod Podge, I do the same thing over the paint, and then I'm just going to take some glitter, and this would be completely optional. I know some people do not like glitter, but I just thought that it added a little something to this sleigh, and I just sprinkled that glitter over the top of this where that Mod Podge is, and I just shake that off, and I just think that adds the perfect touch of snow on there. And then you just kind of, when you can see I pull it upside down and I just tap it all off to get that off of there. And I just thought it looked so cute. So now I'm taking the third sleigh here, and I wanted to do this in a traditional like brown and red metal type of sleigh look here. So the base of the sleigh on these, I'm just taking some red paint, and I will get that on the sides here all over the bottom there. And then I'll also do that on like the crossbar, and you'll see how I do that here in just a second. You can see over there. And I just thought that that would be really cute. In my mind, that's where the red part of the sleigh would be. And then I just use antiquing wax to do the rest of it. And so that's how that goes. And for some reason in my mind, that little piece, it was like a piece of wood that would be going up that metal would fasten to. So that's why I chose to do that. So anyway, I just went ahead around with my little emery board and distressed it so it looked like an aged sleigh. And then I even had like a little bit of black paint on a baby wipe there that I went over where I sanded to kind of give it more of an aged and an older look. I picked up this little Christmas tree. This came from like the little village section that Dollar Tree always has. And I just thought it would be really cute to have this tied onto this sleigh, like somebody's bringing their Christmas tree home for Christmas to decorate it. And I'm just kind of pushing the bristles. It's like a bottle brush. So I'm pushing those bristles out so that way it will lay a little bit flatter against my sleigh. And then I'm just using hot glue. I did take off the snow base of that because it didn't look very realistic, if you will, on there. So I just wrapped the base in some twine to kind of look like the trunk of the tree, and then I glued that on, and I decided to glue it on upside down, like that was how they had placed it, like it had just kind of fallen over on the sleigh. And I tied it down with some twine to look like the tree was tied down with rope, and just put a little teeny bow on the top of that. So now you can see I have this little wreath I'm going to put onto this sleigh, and I had this little ornament that came from Walmart. Dollar Tree has some cute little ornaments too that would be darling on there, or you wouldn't have to do one at all. I just really like the fact that it had a cute little thing on there to say sleigh ride, since I'm kind of going with the sleigh theme on here. And here's all three of these sleighs together. I just think they all turned out so cute. They were so fun to create. So now I'm going back to the base of the sign because we're going to let everybody know that they can park their sleighs here. So I'm just taping some tissue paper to just a regular piece of copy paper. And you just want to make sure that this it's like the dull side is what's up. So there's a shiny side and a dull side to tissue paper. I put the shiny side towards the paper because I want the ink to go onto the dull side of the paper. Now I just fed this through my printer like a piece of paper. I just found some script and wrote this in Word, put it through. I have an inkjet printer, not a laser printer. I just make sure that that ink is very, very dry before I put any Mod Podge. And you can see how the ink kind of bleeds through onto the paper. Now I'm taking a little brush with some water on it, and I'm just going around the parking, the sleigh parking, and just ripping that. This will give it a natural edge rather than a cut edge, and that way when you Mod Podge this down, it will kind of disappear into the background. So I just do a thin layer of Mod Podge, and I'm having a very hard time holding onto the sign, but I want to do this all over. So when you do this, make sure the Mod Podge goes all over, not just where your words go, because you want the sheen and the finish to look cohesive. And then I just did my best to eyeball how I wanted that centered, and then I work from the middle out with just dabbing my finger and making sure there are no wrinkles or anything, and I just kind of go up to the edge, and then you can kind of say I pull it taut there, and then keep doing that. And if your tissue paper will allow you to kind of pick it up, if you get a wrinkle or two, do it, but if you feel that it's going to start to tear, just embrace the wrinkles and just let it be a part of the sign. So I take a little bit of Mod Podge and I go over the edge, not over the ink. I'm just going over the edge. Now, if this had dried for several days, I could probably go over the ink and be fine, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to seal this instead. I have this clear glaze Krylon, and I'm just going to spray this over the top. And I just make sure this goes all over to give the same sheen, and just a little spritz on there, and then I let that dry completely. Then after that's dry, I just take a little bit of white paint, and on my little brush, just very lightly dry brush over the letters to make it blend into the background of that sign. I just think that is super cute. I'll link the font name if I can down in my description box. And then I stained those cute little pegs, and I just screwed those back on and hung these little sleighs from it. And you guys, I think this turned out this might be one of my favorite Christmas crafts ever. It's so cute. It was so fun. You can personalize it. You could have all of like your kids or your grandkids decorate a cute little sleigh to hang from it. So next time you're at Dollar Tree, pick up one of those laundry signs and look for some cute little sleighs, or even if you had different ornaments you wanted to decorate and hang from it. It would be so cute. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching these. Honestly, these are some of my most favorite Christmas DIYs I've done all year. I love how all of these turned out, and they're all timeless, and honestly, they could all probably carry you through the whole winter season, not just for Christmas, because I feel like none of them are specifically Christmas. They all just deal kind of with winter, but I think they all turned out so adorable. I would love to know what you guys thought of these. Did you have a favorite from today? Are you as in love with those little sleds as I am? I just think they turned out darling. I can see these being just in my Christmas decor for years to come. I just want to take a minute to wish you guys a very happy holiday season, and also wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time. Happy crafting! If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and have an amazing day.